Buyers, it's what you've been waiting for. Inventory is going up. Let's talk about it. I'm Dean Odell with 7 Gables Real Estate in the Odell Group. Today is May 2nd, and we're going to go to the charts now and look at the data. Okay, guys, so we're going to start with the Orange County active listing inventory year over year. This is 2024, which means we are the purple line in the graph, and you can see how we're looking compared to prior years. So today we have 2,320 homes on the market. 2 weeks ago, we had 2,184, and here's the good news. Last year, we had 2,076. That's almost 250 more homes on the market right now compared to last year. Still well below the 3-year average of 6,002. Now, you might remember when we talked about this chart a couple weeks ago, we were looking at that purple line and we were looking at that angle. And I said, boy, I hope that angle continues like that or even gets steeper like the orange line did, right? Because that means we're getting inventory. And I'm glad to see that it did not flatten out like the blue line or the red line did. But it's going to be interesting to watch this on every 2 weeks we look at this and we just keep watching the data here. But the good news is right now, we've got more inventory than we had last year, year over year. Now let's look at pending escrows. You can see, again, we are the purple line. You can see we are right on top of that blue line from last year. And if you look at the numbers today, we have 1,707 homes that have gone into escrow in the last 30 days. 2 weeks ago, we were at 1,642. We would expect that demand would increase this time of year, so that is where it should be. And then look at last year, 1,706. So we're only one sale off, but yet we have 250 more homes. So that's kind of exciting. We're gonna have to see how that plays out if it keeps building, right? The 3-year average, 2,780 homes. So as always, when we look at demand, we got to go to the next chart, which is our expected marketing time year over year. And today, if we look at that, it is 41 homes. 2 weeks ago, it was 40. So not too much different. And last year it was 37. So now we're finally getting to a point where we're actually seeing a little bit of slowdown in the market, Not much, 4 more days, but 4 more days is like 10% slower, right? So it's something. And then we get into the 3-year average was 65 days. So we're still well ahead of the prior to COVID pace that we were on. Again, we look at that purple line. You can see how that's been plotted this year versus previous years. You can see that orange line year, that was 2022. That was when rates first, started jumping to new levels that people hadn't seen and the market really slowed down. And we're going to talk more about interest rates later. So let's go and look at the expected marketing time by price range. It's important to know how you fit into this chart and whether you're a buyer or whether you're a seller, what price range you are in. You can see it's a hot seller's market up to about $2 million. The other thing you can notice is that the marketing time this year versus last year, in previous episodes we were saying, hey, look, it's sped up, it's quicker. But now with the inventory buildup, it's getting slower. And you can see how some of these price ranges now, it's close, but they are actually slower in marketing time now than they were last year. So that's been a bit of a change. So we have a hot seller's market up to $2 million. We have a slight seller's market between $2 and $4 million. You can see that price point is still a little faster than last year at 65 days. And then you look at the $4 to $6 million range and the $6 million plus range, and you can see that those price ranges are definitely a deep buyer's market at this point. You can see the current inventory percentages versus the current demand percentages in all these price ranges. But when looking at a deep buyer's market, you could see, for instance, at 4 to 6 million, it only is 2% of the demand and 8% of the inventory. So a lot of this extra inventory we have that we're seeing is in the higher end. Things are sitting in the higher end, taking more time to sell, and the buyers have more negotiating power over 2 million than they do under 2 million. So that said, I'm going to turn to my advice for buyers and sellers, where I tell you what we've been seeing with boots on the ground, and let's do that now. Okay, buyers, so you can see that inventory is starting to build, and that's really good, especially if you're a higher end buyer like we showed you in the previous chart. But maybe your patience is paying off. We still have a long way to go to get back to pre-COVID levels, but it is moving in the right direction, okay? And it's still a great seller's market, obviously. It's just we're getting away from those days of 10 offers or more on the same property, right? Unless something's ridiculously priced. Now maybe we're gonna see 2 or 3 offers if something's fairly priced. And the houses that are sitting on the market, not selling, I bet you anything their agents are telling those sellers, hey, look, you probably need to reduce your price. So if I'm a buyer, guess what I'm doing? I'm making offers on those houses that have been sitting around for a while before they reduce the price and end up pulling in all the other buyers. So that's the best advice I can give you. And if you don't have an agent that's keeping an eye on the market for you like that, give us a call. We got plenty of great agents on this team that are representing buyers all the time. And we will make sure that we find you the best house at the best price. So give us a call on that. We'd love to help you. Okay, sellers, so things might be changing a little bit, right? We got interest rates up to 7.25%. Okay, it wasn't that long ago that we were down 6.25%. Okay, so a 1% hike in rates for most buyers is a 5 to 10% price increase to them, depending on whether they're putting 20% down or 40% down. Okay, so either way, it's effectively a price increase, and because of that, you're seeing a slow in demand, and we're going to see this in all price ranges. First-time buyer ranges, obviously people are getting knocked out by higher interest rates, right? So that's what you got to deal with as a seller. How do you get around that? Well, the good news is there's still a lot of buyers there. The secret is to not overprice your house. If you overprice your house, if it doesn't look good, if it's not presented properly and marketed properly, you're probably not getting the results you want. So if you're having that issue, you want to cancel out that listing, you're not happy with your agent, and you can cancel, call us, okay? If not, that listing's coming to an end. We take plenty of expired listings as well. We just sold a house that 3 other agents had in front of us. I know it sounds crazy that could happen in this market, but it's true. 3 other agents, we got that house sold, no problem. So we've been doing this a long time. We can help you out. We do all the improvements, take all the hassles out of it for you, get that house ready, have it looking good. There's nothing anybody else is doing out there that we're not doing to sell homes. As a matter of fact, we do way more. That's why we have a team and we can execute it for you. So give us a call. We'll put our years of experience to work for you. All right. So that's it for this Tustin Talks, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back in 2 weeks and we'll keep watching that active listing line. Hopefully it continues to keep going up relative to demand, and we slowly build back to a normal market. Let's hope that's where things are going. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.